Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Basics of Life. My name is Ken Burkey and Cindi Ehrgott is back in the house.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Now, Cindi was here last time talking about life skills. Cindi is the Life Skills Director at Green Valley Community Church, and so thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thanks for putting up with all of this. And
my pleasure.
Yeah, look, first of all, before we talk about the fall schedule and some of the amazing classes that are offered to our community, just kind of talk about life skills in general, kind of the philosophy behind it, who can come, who's invited, all of that.
Sure. Well, Life Skills basically started as a program to help people get the tools that they need to do life better. As we know, life doesn't come with instruction books, and there's a lot of conflicting ideas about how to do things, parenting, finances, marriage, all kinds of stuff. And so what we've found through the years is that, people want to do the right thing. They want a healthy lifestyle, but it's not always easy to know how to get there, especially if they have had, issues in the past, or perhaps they weren't raised in a home that demonstrated some of those things. So our Life Skills program has grown specifically out of that perceived need of people, needing those tools, those basic tools to help them figure out life, really. And so our classes are open to anybody in the community. You don't have to be a believer. You don't have to go to Green Valley. All you have to do is show up and want to learn and want to, figure out how can you do this better? How can I communicate better with my spouse, with my kids? How can I make financial decisions that are going to move us forward instead of moving us backwards? Just the whole gamut. We have a divorce care program. Divorce is common now. 53% of marriages end in divorce these days, which is pretty crazy. But because we know that's a fact of life, we want to equip folks who have been dealing with divorce or who are dealing with divorce now to heal from those pains, to learn what they need to learn, and then be able to move forward in life.
You've been doing this for how many years?
This is the start of my 15th year.
Wow, 15 years. It's interesting in our culture because our culture kind of skims across the surface of a lot of these topics. So there's not a lot of great information out there, or like you said, conflicting information. So what's the goal here with these classes? I mean, as far as, I understand the goal to give them tools, but people come in with probably all types of wild ideas, maybe coming in without a lot of hope, or...
Yeah, I think all the above. I think we see a lot of folks who are wounded, maybe something has happened to them. It might not have been a decision that they made. I mean, let's talk about divorce for a second. So, oftentimes we see that, when a marriage ends, it's not usually a mutual decision. Usually there's one person who decides, I'm leaving this marriage. Well, if you're the person who didn't make that decision, that's a really, really difficult thing to deal with and to wrap your head around, and to not, go down that path of saying, what's wrong with me, that kind of a thing. So our goal, again, is to just try to help people overcome a lot of these things that life throws our way. Sometimes it is because of choices we've made. We have an amazing Celebrate Recovery program. There's a lot of folks that are there. They show up every Thursday night faithfully, and they're finding fellowship. They're finding, again, tools to make better choices. And they're changing the trajectory of not only their life, but their family's life, their children's lives. So it's powerful. I mean, there are answers to this. We're not meant to do life alone. God didn't design us to do life alone. And the common denominator on all of these programs, of course, is Christ, and the hope that he offers. And the Bible is one of the best, I wouldn't say do it yourself because it's Christ doing it, but the Bible is filled with wisdom. And when you can apply that to your life, you're going to see change, big change.
So let me be the devil's advocate on that.
Okay.
In the sense that I believe that too, amazing wisdom.
Right.
But people are still afraid to maybe go to a church or go to a class because they've been judged before.
Sure.
And I know you talk a little bit about, like last time, how you have made one of the priorities to make this a safe place.
Right. Yes.
Because people are going to feel like, well, am I going to get judged? Am I going to be
sure.
Those kind of things.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. We get calls from a lot of people, and they do. They have a real hesitation in their voice, and I get that. I don't blame them at all. Most people have some kind of church baggage in their life, and so no matter which of our classes a person might pop into, we have 3 common denominators, 3 core values. Yeah. The first one is a place of grace. So all of our classes, whatever class it is, you will be accepted who you are, how you are, no judgment. Just come as you are. The second core value is community. You will experience community, whether it's a 6-week class or a 14-week class. You will experience community. You will meet other people who are walking down the same road that you are. You'll encounter teachers and facilitators who have been, have experienced similar kinds of things. And then the third core value is transformation. That's the goal. Right. The goal is to not leave you how you are when you first walk through the door, otherwise you wouldn't be there. You're looking for something. So our goal for any program are those 3 things: grace, which is safety and acceptance, community, fellowship, camaraderie, somebody listening to you and saying, okay, I get that, I hear you, I think I know what you're going through, and then of course transformation, change, right. Tools, hope for the future.
So let me ask you a difficult question to answer. How much of what people need is information versus how much do they need a safe place where they're not being judged?
Yeah.
Because the information is important, right. But without that second part that you're talking about is huge.
I think the 2 go hand in hand. Yeah. I think one without the other won't be enough. And so I think that's why we have seen such an influx of people coming into our programs.
Yeah, and huge success because of those 2 things.
Yeah, and we have people, throughout the community, probably 25% to 30% of the folks that come to our programs don't go to Green Valley. Right. And they don't necessarily go to any church. Right. But it still works. Right. And that's great. We love that. We love that.
I know that's been the goal from the beginning. Yes. Is information is great and we desperately need it in our culture, but without that place of safety and that place of acceptance.
Acceptance, absolutely.
Because that one shutdown, when you feel judged, then all that information just goes away.
And the reality of it too is that if you go to other programs, you can go to the county or other agencies for some of these programs, but what we try to do is a holistic approach. We try to look at the person and love them and care for them as a whole person, not just as a man with an anger issue, or a person who has an alcoholism issue, or a family who has a spending issue. They're people, first and foremost. They're entire human beings, and so we have a holistic approach. And so, our goal, our hope is that people do feel loved and they do feel accepted, and the transformation is a holistic transformation. It isn't just in this one little area of their life, but they begin to understand that they can live life in a different way, and it spills over to the rest of their lives. It isn't just a compartmentalized kind of thing.
I think what you're saying there too is important because we live in a get fixed quick kind of culture. Fix me. And I'll move on. And it's like you slow that process down and say, this is going to take a while because it's more than just getting the right information, but it's creating good habits, better relationships.
Yeah, and sometimes it's you can address the issue. Let's say, for example, we're offering a class this fall called Hope for Anxiety and Depression. Well, we know that both of those things, anxiety and depression, are rampant right now. Life is difficult, and so not only do you want people to know how to be able to get through each day, but you want them to understand why are they feeling this way? Why do they feel depressed, or why do they feel anxious? And help them uncover those things that cause them to be that way to begin with. Because you don't want just a Band-Aid. You don't want a quick fix.
Yeah,
you want lasting change.
Last time you talked, but I want you to talk about it again because mental health. That's been something that the church world or the faith world has kind of avoided. Or it's just kind of said, well, suck it up or get over it, or they haven't known what to do with it. So talk about what you're doing with life skills.
We, as you've said, historically the church hasn't had a great record in helping people deal with mental health issues. Matter of fact, a lot of agencies haven't had a great record. The county, the community hasn't. I think more and more we are beginning to understand from a holistic point of view, mental health affects everybody, every family, and you have got to, as a community, not just the church, not just our mental health department, not just New Morning Youth and Family Services, but all of us collectively, we have got to look at this issue. It's not going away, and so you know, it deserves the same love and care and attention that any other issue that a community is suffering with deserves. And so we are partnering this fall. We're going to offer 2 wonderful programs called Safe Talk. And it's a 3-hour training that the county will be giving us, or giving to anybody who wants to attend, to help them understand better what suicide is about, and try to train them so that if they encounter a person in their lifetime, you know, maybe not in their lifetime, but in their world, you know, maybe a student might, you know, you might be at school and you'll hear one of your friends talk, or maybe it's behavior you observe in a family member. And so it's just raising that level of awareness and educating people.
Right.
That this is kind of what this looks like. Be on the lookout for this. If you suspect this, these are the things that you can do. These are the places that you can get help. So it's educating ourselves, it's equipping our community to better interact and deal with mental health crises as they arise.
Yeah, and it seems to me just talking about it is liberating, because it's
absolutely.
Like people don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So now that you just get it out there, because there's not one solution, there's not one answer.
Right.
So just to be talking about it helps people. It's
normalize
not the stigma anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Normalize it in the sense that it happens.
It happens.
Right. It happens, and it doesn't mean you're a bad person. No. It doesn't mean it's not your fault. It just happens. Yeah. You know, it happens the way diabetes happens. You know, it happens the way cancer happens. Yeah. You know, would you not go and get help for those things? Yeah. You know, and would you love somebody less? You know, and would you be threatened by that? Would you be ashamed of that? So all of those kinds of things are past ideas and prejudices that we're trying to really re-educate people to get rid of those things.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. So this fall, here's the fall catalog for our life skills.
Yep.
And so it's loaded.
It's loaded.
So we don't have enough time for you to read every detail. So what are you, and first of all, where can people get this?
Well, you can get it at the church. You can go online to our website and you can download it, or you can just read it online. It's at the county courthouse. It's at Juvenile Hall. It is at Youth and New Morning. It's at the library. It's at Health and Human Services. It's pretty much all over the community. Or you can call us and we'll be happy to mail you one too.
Good. So. I was thinking too they could hand it out at the In-N-Out Burger drive-thru.
That'd be awesome.
That would cover a lot of people.
Get your dinner and this at the same time.
So what are you most excited about this fall? I mean, I know you have the basic classes that are all year round. Marriage 52, Celebrate 52. Recovery.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you just want to highlight this fall? Yeah, well, you did some of them. But.
Yeah. You know, I think I want to highlight basically that people have the power and the ability to change their lives. They don't have to settle for how things are right now. God wants it to be better, and it can be better. And it doesn't take money. You know, our programs are essentially free. So don't let money stop you. If you have church baggage, don't let that stop you. Walk through the doors, give it a try. You will be met with people who love you, who accept you, who won't judge you, and that just know that there's hope. You know, life can be better. Life can be abundant. That's our theme for this year, is living the abundant life. And God says, I've come that you can have abundant life. And it's possible. It's definitely possible.
It is, and I think that one of the things that it's never too late. That's one of God's, you know,
absolutely
largest characteristics and values. And I think sometimes, you know, maybe like you said, we've been raised a certain way, or we've had a pattern, and it's like, well, that's just the way I'm always going to be. And what you see in these classes is people really breaking out of that kind of bondage.
You know, we have people in our Celebrate Recovery program who are in their 70s and their 80s, and it's never too late to change. It's never too late to find that peace, that transformation that God, you know, promises us if we do our part. You know, we have to show up. Right. We have to do our part.
So any other classes that you would like to?
Gosh, there's so many great ones.
Yeah, I know. This is just loaded. So.
Yeah. I mean, if I mentioned one, you know.
But one of the emphasis is the mental health for
definitely,
this fall.
Yeah. So our Safe Talk class, our Hope for Depression and Anxiety class, Bipolar Insights, meets every Monday faithfully year-round at the church. Celebrate Recovery is a phenomenal program.
Every Thursday. The Landing.
The Landing Sunday nights for teens who might be having issues in their lives, or have, you know, their folks might be struggling with something. That is an amazing program, The Landing. So, you know, there's so much. I like to joke we have a class for that, and we pretty much do. So whatever the issue is, call me. I'll be happy to you know, hook you up with what I think is going to be a good choice for you based on, you know, what you're going through. But there is something, there's always hope. And don't stay at home. Right. Don't hide. Reach out for help. It's here. It's free. That's why we're here. We want to help.
Great. Thank you, Cindi.
You're welcome.
I love this too, just because I like 30 to 35% of people. You don't have to go to Green Valley.
Absolutely.
This is just for the community, because that's what
it's for anybody.
It's for anybody.
Yep.
Make sure you pick one of these up. Maybe for you, it may be for someone that you know.
Somebody you know.
But call the church, call Cindi, pick one of these up, go online, whatever.
Yeah.
So thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken.
And thanks for being with us here on The Basics of Life, and we will see you next time.